Hello and welcome to Let Them Talk TV. My name is Gideon, and today we've got the 400k subscriber Q&A. Yes, that's right. It's the first time I've done a Q&A like this, and 400k, that's a lot of subscribers, although probably some of them are bots and maybe some people have two accounts and maybe some people are dead, some people don't come here anymore. So less than that, but nevertheless, a hefty sum. And thank you all for subscribing and watching these videos. And I've got quite a lot of questions, and some of them are about the channel, some of them are grammar questions, quite a lot. So I won't be able to answer all the questions in this video. I'll likely make another video with some more of your grammar questions, because this video is going to be about, I don't know, 10 to 12 minutes long, because that's what YouTube wants. And as you know, most of my important life decisions are based around the vagaries of the YouTube algorithm. So let's start with the first question, and I've got two questions of a similar nature, so I'll try and tackle them together. One is from Be Kind, who asks, thank you for your informative content. My question is, how did you start teaching English? And also from Anna Maria Tudorash, and she wants to know how to be a good teacher. What are the qualities of a good teacher? Okay, and let's look at that. So how did I start? Well, kind of by accident, really, as I was in London doing some boring jobs, decided I wanted to spend some time away, went over to Spain, got offered a job as an English teacher, and I ran with it. I took the ball and I ran with it. And I haven't always been a teacher, by the way. I worked in the IT industry for many years, but I've returned to it quite a few years ago. And how to be a good teacher? Well, what you need to do is teach for 15 years and then make 170 YouTube videos on English grammar, English vocabulary, and I promise you, you'll be a good teacher. Now, seriously, I think there's a bit more to that. It's different. Everyone's got their own opinion. I think know the subject, be a good listener, realize that not every student, every pupil is the same. Try and adapt, try and be understanding and encouraging, and be constantly learning and enjoy it. Et voila. Okay, next question. Mercantile Howard. Okay. Hello and congratulations. How many languages do you speak? How do you learn them? Which languages would you like to learn? I should say I don't claim to be. I'm an English teacher. I don't claim to be a super polyglot or anything like that. Having said that, I do speak Spanish and French, having lived in both countries. Also intermediate Italian, and I've been learning Japanese for many years. But shall we say it's quite a low level. I'm not one of those people who thinks it's important to speak lots of languages. I prefer to speak, even speaking two languages, your own and another language, really well is a lot. And to speak two foreign languages, that's amazing. But I honestly wouldn't even want to speak 15 or 20 languages, because I don't really believe it. I think it's fake. I think to know a language really well, it takes 10 years, and I prefer to learn two or three, maybe a fourth one really well. Ones I'd like to learn, all of them really. All of them. I mean, I wouldn't like to learn all of them. I'm interested in all languages, but I suppose because I've studied, French and Italian and Spanish, they're all quite similar. I like do something different. So I enjoy Japanese and maybe, I don't know, something non-Indo-European. The Chinese sounds good, a tonal language, or Korean, or Arabic, something like that. Okay, move on to a couple of grammar questions, because I do like the grammar questions. Where should I start? Thank you, Shamasundara SV. You've asked this question many times, and I thank you for your patience. And you want to know the difference between having versus have had. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. I think you mean starting a sentence with having. How does that work? So you're using having plus a past participle to talk about completed events, okay? And sometimes they're used for recently completed events. So, for example, having closed the door, I realised that I had forgotten my keys. Of course, you could say, I closed the door, and then I realised that I had forgotten my keys. And both are correct. I guess the having one, it sounds a bit more immediate, and maybe it's better in storytelling, but it's just a style thing. Both are grammatically correct. And so in a similar way, so you can also use it to talk about past experiences that are relevant to the moment. So, for example, I've got an example here. Having lived on a farm for many years, I know what a cow looks like. Okay? Of course, you could say, I've lived on a farm for many years, so I know what a cow looks like. But as I said, not much difference, but the first example gives more impact to the story. And just to give you the negative, all you would do is put not before the having. Not having been to Moscow, I can't give you much advice about where to go. Okay, so I haven't been to Moscow, so I can't give you much advice. So you could use both. A nuance of a difference. Bintu Jawla, how to be confident and get rid of nervousness. I'm assuming you're talking about speaking English here. I won't talk about generally. Maybe someone else can comment on that. But speaking English, well, it's normal. It's normal to lack confidence and be nervous when you're speaking in a foreign language. It's completely normal. You're not alone. Everyone feels that way. I still feel that way when I'm speaking a foreign language. But just come out of your comfort zone step by step, trying to do something that you wouldn't normally do. Step by step, make improvements, try something that you haven't done before, and it's a gradual process. It won't happen overnight, but you'll see, take small incremental steps and you will improve. Dry XXA, which grammar topics would you call essential for communication? I don't know. All of them. I don't think you could just omit grammar. I mean, just learn a little bit of grammar, whatever it is. Learn something that you don't know, and just do it that way. Don't think about this grammar is not necessary and this grammar is necessary. I'm not sure that's a good approach. And next one, Pussycat Lover. Hello there. Okay, you're chuffed that we've reached this milestone. And the difference between one at a time and one by one. Okay, you made me think about this one. I have to think about this. I didn't try to Google it. I didn't find the answer, but I've thought about it, and this is my answer. Okay, so one at a time means that there is an interval, or there could possibly be an interval between the things that you're doing, and one by one will be that it happens directly, one and then again and then again and then again. It's easy if I give you some examples. So I've got 10 donuts, and I'm going to eat them one by one, which would mean this one, and then I take this one, then I take this one, And one at a time means today I'm going to eat the chocolate one, tomorrow I'm going to eat the strawberry one, and so on and so forth. So that's why in a shop you'd let people in. During the COVID times, you could let people enter the shop one at a time, not one by one. So you come in and then next one. But if you're thinking one by one, it means there's a long line of people and they're all in a continuous stream walking in, but there's just one file. So maybe people are using it interchangeably, but I think that's kind of the nuance of meaning. I'm using the word nuance a bit too much these days. R.R.B. Kumar. How to learn prepositions and the articles. These two things are killing my English fluency journey. I like the way you say that. So I'm not sure it's true. Congratulations, 400k. Well, as you know, we do have videos on prepositions and articles. Having said that, you're right, these are the two most difficult things for an English teacher too, because there are some rules, but there are inconsistencies, and with prepositions, you've got to learn every case. Articles, not quite. There are rules of articles, but they're long and complicated. The best way, of course, is to read a lot, talk a lot, listen a lot, and gradually you'll pick it up that way. That's honestly the best way. You can learn some rules, and other grammar, of course, you can learn the rules. It's very fixed. You know it. But this, it's a bit more difficult. So, and I think even native speakers with prepositions, even native speakers will sometimes have a doubt about, do we say in or on in this situation? I can't think of any examples at the moment, but I'm sure I've been in that situation at times. So don't worry too much. Just carry on with your English fluency journey, and you will have reached your destination eventually. But enjoy the journey, just the same. Well, that's it for today. I haven't finished, so if you're not on the list, don't worry. I'll return to this another day. But I think just giving you a few things to mull over. So I'll just say thanks again, everyone, watching the channel, and have a beautiful day. Bye.